G'day mates from the land down under, home to some of the world's most fascinating animals, stunning scenery, and controversial sandwich bread. Australia has been a dream destination of mine since I was a kid watching Crocodile Hunter, Finding Nemo, and of course, Mary-Kate and Ashley's Our Lips Are Sealed. And I can't believe that we are finally here. In this adventure, we are going to be exploring Sydney, and we are so ready to see the sights, eat the food, meet the locals, and let you know what visiting Australia is truly like. Let's adventure. We touched down in Sydney bright and early, and having spent the past 6 months in Japan and Vietnam, we're a little overwhelmed. Suddenly, everything is in English, and we can understand everything and everyone and read every sign. It's kind of amazing. But we do have some Australian slang to get used to. We stopped for some brekkie and a flat white. And for those of you that don't speak Australian, that's breakfast and a classic Australian coffee that's somewhere between a cappuccino and a latte, and it is delicious. All fueled up, the sightseeing begins. Sydney is rated one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and you don't have to walk far to see why. We're starting off in Hyde Park, and the natural and architectural beauty here is astounding. The average everyday birds here, beautiful. The War Memorial, incredibly beautiful. St. Mary's Cathedral, absolutely stunning. And it just keeps getting better. We make it to the Botanic Gardens and it feels unreal. It's crazy to believe that we're still in the middle of the big city. But nothing beats that first view of one of the most iconic sights in the world, the Sydney Opera House. What makes this moment even better is having people to enjoy it with. Not just Ivan, we're always together, but look who we ran into at the airport, my parents. We are so excited that they flew in from Texas to join us for this big Australia adventure. And what a way to start it. With the view of the city, the Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, and the harbor. This is one of those moments where you just have to take a deep breath and let it sink in. We've really made it. This is Australia. G'day from Sydney! Honestly, I don't know how we're still going because I've slept about 2 hours in the past 24 hours. We had an overnight flight. We actually ended up fitting so many things in. That first moment, like seeing the peaks of the Opera House just peeking out and like getting closer, getting the full reveal, the city skyline, like is incredible. We all looked at each other and we're like, we are in Australia. Like it's official. And now we have made it to the Manly Ferry, and I'm hoping, we'll see, it's pretty cloudy, it's a little rainy, but I'm hoping we're gonna have an epic sunset over the Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House and several of the most iconic things. And it's so nice because this, like, you don't have to book this in advance or anything. This is just public transportation. You tap your phone and Apple Pay does the rest, and here we are. Or Google Pay if you're an Android user. The Opera House is coming on the right! Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. Wow. Oh, it's so stunning, except for the fact that it's raining again. the cross light is on.
You made it! Woo!
We made it. We got off the Manly ferry and we had to come to Manly Beach. It is raining, it is cold, the sun is about to set, but there are still so many surfers in the water. It is amazing. This is the site of the first surfing world championship. And I kind of feel like we're getting to see another version of it today. There's some amazing surfers out here. If you watch the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, Our Lips Are Sealed, this is the beach the surfers were fighting over. This is it. That was awesome. I feel like the fact that it is wintertime, cold, rainy, and the sun has almost completely set, yet there are still so many people out there, shows that surfing is truly a way of life in Australia. It's not just a stereotype. And now we are ferrying back to Sydney, taking in the beautiful city lights, and calling it a night because we definitely need some sleep for our adventure-filled day tomorrow. G'day mates, it's another beautiful winter morning in July here in Sydney. We are just ticking off the Australian icons. This morning we are doing the Bondi Beach to Coogee Beach walk. We're starting here at Bondi Beach, which you have seen before. Any movie, any TV show that takes place in Australia pretty much happens here on Bondi Beach. Like, it is one of the biggest icons in Australia, and sure enough, they're literally filming something here right now. The beach though is like stunning. The water is so clear and beautiful. And now we are here in front of the Bondi icebergs, the famous pool you've seen all over the internet. It is just so beautiful, filled with the natural water from the ocean. Cool because you could like literally see like a little bit of sand in the bottom from the waves themselves. Definitely a beautiful place to start off the morning. But we've also heard this is a great place to spot humpback whales. So we are looking hard at trying to see if we see any signs, because right now in the winter is when they are migrating from Antarctica up here to seek a little bit of warmer waters. The Bondi to Coogee Coastal Walk is one of the most popular things to do in Sydney because it's stunning. 4 miles of beautiful coastal cliffs and beaches, and during the summer, people stop to swim at each one of them. It's a little too cold for that today, but we are still loving taking in the surfing and scenery. And this beautiful rainbow. Wow, my pot of gold. Woo! Woo!
Swallow.
Another popular thing to do on this walk is cafe hop. So we stopped at Bogey Hole Cafe for some flat whites to warm us up. We did it! We made it to Coogee. After hours on what is without a doubt one of the most beautiful walks of my life, we have definitely worked up an appetite. We ordered an Australian classic fish and chips with a view. This is so good. It is in the top 3 fish and chips of my life and the #1 fish and chips view. Even the locals won't leave us alone begging us to share.
No. Yeah.
After what feels like way too long, we're finally up close and personal with the Opera House. It's even more stunning seeing all the little details up close, like the tiles on the roof. Designed in 1957, this is the youngest place to ever become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The architect took his inspiration from nature, birds, clouds, trees, and legend has it peeling an orange. The architect was struck by how the individual segments make up a sphere. So the 10 triangular segments that form the Opera House's roof, if you were to stick them back together, I wouldn't try it, but they would form a perfect symmetrical shape. I could sit here for hours staring at this legendary building. And we can! We are at Opera Bar. This view is incredible. G'day mates, it's another beautiful morning here in Sydney, and today we're starting off with a brickie of a meat pie. Meat pies are like the national dish of Australia. This is the peak of Australian cuisine. I get why this is a national dish. This is incredible. Look at this. This is just a classic beef pie. Just delicious beefy stew. Absolutely perfect because we're here in the winter. This is the perfect way to start the morning in Australia. So glad we're taking part in these local traditions. We walked along Darling Harbour to the Haymarket Chinatown area, which is lovely and has a great market that I highly recommend for souvenir shopping. But instead of videoing that, we got a little distracted by this massive line for freshly made cream puffs. We followed the line. This is awesome. Thank you.
Oh, it's hot. We walked into Chinatown. We immediately ran into this giant wrapping long line. Turns out it's for these piping hot cream puffs. Let's do it. Whoa. And a delicious custard inside. Don't get me wrong, it's sweet, but it's got a savory side to it as well in the bread. Nice little salt to offset. A rather mild custard actually, in terms of sweetness. When it's just fresh, you can't go wrong. It may be the middle of July, but here in the Southern Hemisphere, it is a chilly winter day, so this really hits the spot.
But nothing hits the spot when you're exploring a new city quite like getting a view from above. So we're going up to the 83rd floor of the Sydney Tower to Bar 83 to soak up some views and brews. Looking out at the city, it's crazy to realize how much of it we've seen in these quick few days. From the airport to Hyde Park, Manly, the Opera House, Bondi, Coogee, Darling Harbour. It also reaffirms the fact that this is no doubt one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Our last stop is Hyde Park Barracks, an incredible free museum that teaches you about the history of Australia as a prison colony and from the Aboriginal perspective. It is so well done, and I think it's a must-do when you're in Sydney to get a real understanding of how this country became what it is today. We are loving exploring Australia so far. The people are so friendly and diverse and amazing. The public transportation has been so easy. The sights are incredible and the food has been great. Please hit those subscribe and like buttons to join us as we explore more of this beautiful country. It seriously helps us so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, watch one of these videos. YouTube thinks you'll really like it.